Hello and welcome. My name is Samantha Clarke. I'm a happiness consultant and I'm also the author of Love It or Leave It, How to Be Happy at Work. And I am delighted to talk to you about why I think it's so important for individuals to move from a state of work confusion into work happiness. I have spent thousands of hours working with individuals, either in-house in companies, helping managers and leaders to create the right environment for people to flourish in work. I've also spent a lot of time delivering fantastic workshops and masterclasses at the School of Life and The Guardian to help people to create portfolio careers, manage and navigate stress, and also build confidence. And one thing that keeps coming up is that question around how to be happier at work. And I think it's a fundamental question of our times because, well, there are three reasons. I think a lot of people don't know how to equate their passions and their interests and figure out how to make money from that, or if it's even feasible. I think a lot of people are blocked. There are so many barriers around what we think we can do, what we think we can achieve, and we self-sabotage in so many ways. And I think also individuals don't have a clear, logical path. There have been so many self-help books out there that are full of great tips and advice, but no actionable, methodical routes to make it work. And I also wanted to address something that happens and that I see a lot in a lot of career books, is that it's all about leaving it to create a brand new business. And whilst that might suit some people, for some of us actually enjoy being in a company. We don't want to be an entrepreneur and taking on all of that risk or seeing how that shapes us. Some people want to be an entrepreneur and want to innovate within a company structure. And so my book, Love It or Leave It, How to Be Happy at Work, is really giving individuals the foundations to think about two pathways. One is the Love It pathway, to think about how to create work happiness on the job, how to think about your resilience, your mindset, what it takes from you to really build better conversations with your co-workers, your clients, the freelancers that are in your community, and also how you can navigate maybe some out of work or out of office indulgences that help to boost your morale throughout the working day. Because I'm a big advocate of the fact that, whilst we might love our work, for some people, maybe their job is a 60-70% and they're okay with that, but they have found so many delightful passions outside of work and hobbies that give them that 100% joy. And the Leave It path is for individuals who have decided, actually, I've had enough and I am ready to find my dream job, or to have an equilibrium or a mix of both, where they're building out a portfolio career, which is weaving together lots of different strands to create multiple revenue streams. And I think what COVID or what this situation has brought about is it's unearthed four different types of, career transitioners or people who are seeking work happiness. I'm identifying one who has had the career setback. Maybe they've been furloughed and they're thinking to themselves, God, this is a real kind of blow, and I'm worried that my company might not survive and I might need to look for other opportunities. There are people who've been made redundant. There are people who perhaps were kind of hoping for promotions and pay rises, and that hasn't materialized. And I think they have to go through a process of really realigning, catching themselves, thinking about how to boost their confidence before they go off and plan for the next steps. There's also a lot of people who are in that crossroads. I actually think I'm in something good. Could it be tweaked to be even better? Or actually, is this a time where I can use this space, this opportunity that this pandemic, if we can call it an opportunity, has given me the space to breathe, to get clarity, and to think what else might be out there for me. Another realm is the individuals who are seeking new beginnings. And I'm speaking to a lot of people, mums who have been on maternity leave, and are, in some ways thanking the lucky stars that the pandemic has given them the space to think, do I actually want to go back to my job after maternity leave? Or there are some people who have been learning new skills in this time and are deciding, okay, great, actually, this could be the time for me to leap into something new, to apply for that position that I've never thought possible, or to actually start the seedlings of a side hustle. And then there's a last group who just want more joy on the job and have found, the extreme case of moving into working from home to be a challenge on their mindset, to create better routines, learning how to wind up and wind down throughout the day, and create better boundaries with the work that they're doing. And so I love helping these individuals who are at each of these 4 pillars to create a better understanding and a better evaluation of their toolkit. And through the book, I love to work through key exercises that I think are great to level out the playing field and to give you a bit more of, to help you stay in tune with what it is that you actually want and where you want to get to. And my peak framework is a 4-part framework. So the first one is identifying the pain. So I've mapped out those kind of 4 routes, figuring out what your pain is right now and getting a real kind of deep, rich awareness of, okay, what's happening in your life, what's happening in the people around you, your space, your attitude and approach to work, and where has there been a niggling itch that you think, actually, I would like to scratch right now? Is it that you haven't been getting on with certain people? Is it the actual job role and the tasks that you're doing? Or is it actually the industry itself that you're thinking, I've had enough and maybe it might be time to move on? Once you've moved through the peak stage, you move into evaluation. And the core thing that I mentioned before, when people think, can I align my passions and my interests, and what are actually my strengths? I run workshops and I ask people, tell me what your strengths are. And everyone sits there quite quiet. And I ask them to name their weaknesses and they can reel off a list of so many different things. And I think it's really important that we take the time to articulate, what is it that I'm actually good at? Because you have some incredible skills and some incredible strengths that you can maximize or lean into, because sometimes we do overutilize our strengths and think, am I a great relationship builder? Am I somebody who knows how to distill information very quickly? Am I somebody who really loves to solve mathematical problems? Or the fact that I can bring a group together and create an amazing event. When you nail down your strengths and your skills and align those with your passions and your values, this creates a really strong transferable toolkit, a toolkit that you can start to connect the dots between your past work history to finalize and get granular around what it is that you do. And if you are thinking to leap to a new job or a new portfolio career, you can start to weave together, okay, great. So I excelled here. I love interacting with these types of people. I really love doing these elements of my job. And now start to piece together what is going to be your roadmap. And then I offer 2 really in-depth pathways, the love it and the leave it pathway. And in the book, there are 2 solid focus chapters on how do we do this. So what does loving it look like? I break down the different character types that we'll interact with in the workplace and how to understand our behavior and our triggers around that, but also the triggers that we have with other people that we work with. I also look at what it takes to get that pay rise or that promotion. And even if you're thinking right now in the midst of this tragedy that it's not possible for me to get a pay rise or it's not possible for me to go for that dream job, I want you to think again about that, because I've received some incredible DMs from people who have said they've nailed their dream job interview or they have managed to secure their dream position, paying them money they never thought possible. So again, it's removing that lack mindset and thinking, what can I do to put myself in a position of power? And then I move internally. So there's a lot that we can do externally to change the things we don't love about our job, but internally happiness is an inside job. So there's a lot around your mindset, what you can do to shape your environment and your office space, and think about your routines, as well as embracing different passions. And then the leave it side is really road mapping what it takes to find the job that you want, to decipher the kind of job description and your CV and really hack that and think about your LinkedIn. And then the last bit is the portfolio career. So how do I start a portfolio career? How do I find those ideas? How do I stress test those strands? This is a really big one, so that we're not launching into ideas without you actually testing and seeing, is it viable? Do I have connections in this marketplace? Do I know people who would be interested? What is the market actually saying? Is it saturated, or is it ready for what I have to offer? I think what's also important is that we look at our attitude to change. And I've done some great videos on this, which you can check out on my YouTube channel, around change and the art of navigating the different cycles of change that we find ourselves with. And I think there's a lot of people right now going through the motions with their jobs and are thinking, actually, I want to make a change. And how do I get into that process of being open and agile with change? And so I talk a lot about that in the book, and getting you to think about decisions. You know, are you just making your decisions with your head from a very black and white, or facts and figures? Could it be time for you now to move into a place of your heart space? What do I really want? What brings me to life when I think about work? And, you know, there was a great saying I heard today that when you do the work that you love, people that love your work will come and find you, and you will start to flourish in new ways that you hadn't even fathomed. And there's also the gut brain. You know, how are we tuning into our intuition to really, just to take us out of ourselves, take us out of our head. I also think that when we take a moment to think about setting real defined goals and seeing it as a visualized journey, you know, going through, there's a great exercise that I do, which is about seeing yourself going through an escalator and visualizing the next steps of your journey, and thinking on each floor, what do I have? What can I build on? Who would I like to meet? What experiences would I like to have? And how can I keep taking myself to this higher place so I can start to visualize and step into the person I want to become? So I really enjoy writing this book, and I think a really big part for me is the K part of my process, and that's keeping momentum, because it's great for us to do the digging, the excavation work, to find the pain points, to look at our skills and to make the changes, but then staying consistent, having that constancy of purpose is so important. So with keeping momentum, I talk a lot around, you know, managing your money, really thinking and getting acutely aware of what you need to survive if you are thinking about a transition, as well as thinking about your support network. How will I find the people to ground me in my life, in this journey that I'm on, who are going to be the supportive people, the ones that lean in, give you resources, champion your ideas, connect you to people, and who are the people that perhaps are going to be too negative, and what do we do to manage and monitor our energy with those people? And there's a great book by Michael Bengay Steiner, and he says, do more great work. And he says that there are kind of three core people that we need in our lives: the people who are, you know, really inspiring us into action and they're influential. Then there are people with skills that we don't have, that we should seek to collaborate with, barter with. And then there are the people that love us. And I think collaborating and connecting with people like this, now is a great time when a lot of people are at home, people are online, people are on LinkedIn. Reach out, start a fire starter conversation. You never know who you'll connect with, and you don't know where that journey will take you. So I am so passionate about helping people find happiness at work and finding work that they are really in tune with, whether that's in a company, working for themselves, building out a tech platform, or even just thinking, actually, I want to start my meditation process so that I go into my working day feeling powerful and strong. So I hope you've enjoyed this session with me. I do hope that you grab yourself a copy and you get thinking about work in a new way. Get reflective, use this time to enrich yourself, to feel empowered, because you do have a sense of agency when it comes to your work happiness. And I want you to create that career that is bendy, flexy, and can ride the waves of whatever is happening in the markets around us, the world around us. You know that you're building the skills to empower you to do the work that you want to do the work that you were born to do and that you're aligned to do. And it seeps into your passions and your soul in new ways. And that you go on to share the love with other people who also might be in a tricky spot thinking about their work too. So thank you so much for spending time with me. You can find me on @_loveitleaveit_ or @SamanthaAnd_. My website is www.loveitleaveit.co. And as a follow-on from the book, I'm also bringing out the Love It, Leave It Life, which is my ongoing kind of coaching program to really help you take what you're learning in the book and put it into action, because I am a woman of action and momentum, and I want to see you succeed, grow, flourish, and stay happy in your job or career. So take it easy, and lovely for spending time with you. Take care. Bye.
If you like that video, there are loads more talks, classes, and exclusive videos from the Happy Place Virtual Festival. So don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Do follow us on Instagram for constant updates, and enjoy.